There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. May you be seated. Statements by members. Just a reminder to honorable members that in terms of our rules, the time allocation for member statements is as follows. Each statement is 1.5 minutes. MEC's responses to a statement is 2 minutes, and a maximum of 7 statements are allowed under this rule. Are there any member statements? Honorable Khoza.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the African National Congress to render a statement on the Constitutional Court proceedings held from the 5th to the 7th of May 2026 regarding the legal challenges against the National Health Insurance. These proceedings coincide with a significant milestone in our democratic journey, as South Africa marked 30 years of the Constitution on the 8th of May 2026. This occasion reminds us not only of the progress achieved since the dawn of democracy, but also of the persistent inequality inherited from the apartheid, particularly in access to quality health care and other essential services. Honorable Speaker, the continued opposition to the NHI, including the legal challenges currently before the Constitutional Court, seeks to maintain a healthcare system that continues to deepen inequality and delay the full enjoyment of constitutional rights by the majority of South Africans. Although these challenges are presented as legal and procedural concerns, their broader implications are social and economic in nature. They threaten to preserve a system where access to health care depends largely on one's financial status rather than on the constitutional principle of equality and human dignity. The Constitutional Court has reserved judgment in the matter brought by a collective of private healthcare stakeholders, including private hospital groups.
Your time is up, Honorable Member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Manzini.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We welcome the statement by Honorable Member and indeed indicate that this is going to derail us as the South African in terms of the provision of quality healthcare service to our people, universal health coverage. All different countries are implementing this universal health coverage. So we want to indicate that as the Department of Health, we are looking at the judgment, but we will continue in terms of making sure that other processes are followed so that at the end, because majority of the people of South Africa supported the NHI, it's only that there are only people that want to make us not to implement the NHI. So we are looking at that and in terms of the way forward, how we're going to implement. But the NHI is going to be implemented in South Africa. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Moela.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The ANC welcomes and appreciates the opening of the new Exxaro coal mine in Kriel. Our provincial government, through the Premier, Mr. Mandla Ndlovu, joined the Minister of Mineral and Petroleum Resources, Mr. Gwede Mantashe, at this official opening of this new coal mine. Honorable Speaker, this landmark investment is a powerful step towards economic growth, job creation, and sustainable development in Mpumalanga. This mine will play, of course, a pivotal role in supporting the country's energy needs while creating meaningful impact through local investment, reducing unemployment, developing of entrepreneurship, and of course, boosting our provincial economy. This milestone, Honorable Speaker, dispels the notion that coal is dying industry because of the concern around pollution. However, the industry continues to evolve, particularly through investment in a safety and ongoing investment in innovation and research. It is against this background that the ANC therefore appreciates this significant milestone in our province. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Sidel.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, we welcome the statement as presented by Honorable Muela. Safe to say we really appreciate the partnership that provincial government has forged with the private sector. And indeed, opening of the new mine in Kangala by the said mining company not only preserves the 1,300 jobs that has been created, but also future jobs that will be attracted in terms of opportunities that will open up in the sector. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Bongani Mtweni.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker and members, I rise on behalf of Umkhonto weSizwe Party to bring to your attention pressing concern of a school in Steve Tshwete sub-region by the name of LD Mietanalo. Honorable Speaker, Mietanalo School Mietanalo School in the Steve Tshwete sub-region. It's totally mess. I visited the school last week. This is what I found. Broken windows. Over 60% of classroom windows are shattered. In some blocks, there is no single pane of glass left. Criminal vandalism. Thugs are not just breaking windows, they are stealing the aluminum window frames. They trip the school at night and sell the metal for scrap. The school is being cannibalized. Teachers' offices. The administration block is uninhabitable. Ceiling board have collapsed, doors don't lock. Teachers keep learning files in their cars, boots, because the storeroom was ransacked. Weather, winter condition. Now that is May. It is a winter month. Temperatures in Middelburg drop to 2 degrees Celsius. Children sit in classrooms with no windows, wrapped in blankets, unable to write because their hands are numb. Effective learning has stopped. Survival has started. Honorable Speaker, Section 29,
Your
1A.
time is up, Honorable Member. Honorable Masina.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me also welcome the statement by Honorable Bongani Mtweni. Honorable Mtweni, I think we must note that there is a challenge across our schools in terms of vandalism, in terms of all the challenges that we know. But we must indicate that as a department, we allocate 13% for each and every school for maintenance. And as we have noted that 13% might not be enough, that is why we are also Ranza Shikolo Shawena, where we are mobilizing our communities to love their schools, to participate in the effectiveness of their schools by making sure that they do support the schools in terms of providing any form of resources. But of course, as a department, we are also taking care. We are going to have a safety school in Daba on the 28th of May, so that we are dealing with all these matters that are affecting our schools. I think it's a matter that needs all of us to participate, so that at least we can see how best we can deal with this safety in our schools, with this vandalism, with this, maintenance of our school. But I must indicate that there is 13% for all the schools that is meant for maintenance. Thank you very much.
Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the economic freedom fighters to strongly condemn the brutal and senseless kidnapping, torture, and murder of Kasima Fredim Mkomazi, his son Gift Mkomazi, and the killing of Makawe Tsila near Hazyview. This barbaric act is a painful reminder of the violent crime that continues to terrorize innocent people and destroy families across the province. No human being deserves to suffer such cruelty, and no community should live in fear of ruthless criminals who have no regard for life or human dignity. As the EFF, we reaffirm our firm stance against crime, violence, and lawlessness in all forms. Our people deserve safe communities, effective policing, and a justice system that act decisively against criminals. The kidnapping and murder of innocent people for ransom cannot become normal in our society. We call on law enforcement authorities to leave no stone unturned in ensuring that everyone involved in this horrific crime is arrested and prosecuted. Justice must be served swiftly and without compromise. We extend our sincere and heartfelt condolences to the Mkomazi family, the loved ones and of Makawe Zila, friends, and the entire Mpumalanga community during this painful time. May the souls of the departed rest in eternal peace, and may their families find strength and comfort as they mourn this devastating loss. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Masia.
No, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Indeed, we welcome the member statement from Honorable Mukabela. We are working very hard to make sure that the perpetrators are brought to book. We are not going to allow gang to run this country. We are determined that indeed we are not going to surrender the country to criminals. We have activated all our law enforcement agents. They are on the ground to make sure that those perpetrators are brought to book so that they will face the full might of the law. Thank you very much.
Honorable A.M. Weber.
Honourable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Democratic Alliance to deliver a member statement. Through you, Speaker, MEC Mashilo, the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa states clearly in Section 152 to encourage the involvement of communities and community organizations in the matters of local government. We all know it is public participation. In March 25, the valuation roll was done in the Victor Khanye municipality. It was meant to roll out from 1 July 2025. This didn't happen. In March 26, a correction was sent from July 2025 to February 26, which an increase of 336% per month in the rates and taxes. Added to this was a back payment for some up to 18,000 Rand. The increase skyrocketed from 580 Rand per month to 2,500 per month. In today's high cost of living, who can afford such a big increase? No one. After many inquiries, the municipality informed the residents that their agricultural holdings, which they have been living on for the past 25 years, has now been recategorized as residential. Shockingly, no public participation took place. Questions which were sent to the municipality on 14 March were blatantly ignored. Our constitution also makes it clear that there should not be any discrimination. Blatantly, the municipality enforced this increase in all agricultural holdings, but conveniently left out all of Elo's agricultural holdings. How is this not discrimination? A public notice was sent out yesterday to inform the people of Sandra regarding changes made. This Honourable MEC is putting the cart before the horse. Even worse is that this meeting is taking place at the Sandra Library, which has been closed for 6 weeks.
Honourable Mashilo.
Please intervene.
Well, thank you, Honourable Speaker, and indeed, Honourable Member. There was a lot of echo. I might not have heard you well. However, you know, there is a war in America and Iran. And that war, it sounds too far. Hence, it's here in Mpumalanga as well. Because cost of living in terms of the, you know, the cost for diesel, petrol, and all those things, including electricity, make challenge for municipalities in terms of dealing with the increment in terms of the rates and taxes so that they can still give the services to the community. Indeed, we do sympathize with the matter and we shall follow it up so that we check and balance. Hence, when we engaged ESCOM some week ago, was precisely to look how they increase their fees outside what the municipality can afford. Thank you very much.
Honourable Weber.
Speaker. Honorable Mwela is
Honorable
making
Weber,
noise.
can you please take your seat? Can I hear, is it a point of order, Honorable Masango?
Yes, Speaker, I just want to check if we can give the letter to the MEC. It seems he didn't hear anything.
No, thank you very much. You know, through my office, the MEC will be able to respond. Honorable Weber.
But the majority of this House rejected that appeal. Now the consequences are plain. The National Department of Basic Education has awarded a 285 million contract to Lighthouse Publishers, a company registered only 3 days after specifications were issued, with no proven track record, yet entrusted with supplying foundation-phase textbooks to millions of learners. Parliament has already branded this deal rotten and has called in National Treasury to investigate. Honourable Speaker, let us be clear. This is not a Mpumalanga issue. This is not a Western Cape issue. This is not a Gauteng issue. This is a national scandal with national consequences. And if this company fails to deliver, every province will pay the price. But it shows the consequences of tenders that are awarded by one person. Mpumalanga's Department of Education has its own tender processes for learning and teaching support material. These processes are vital and they must remain transparent, diversified and resilient. But if the national dialogue catalogue forces our schools to rely on Lighthouse Publishers, our provincial government must be alert, must be vigilant and must be ready to act. We are not accusing our provincial officials of any wrongdoing, but we are warning, do not allow this national scandal to become a provincial disaster.
Honourable Member, your time is up. Honourable Masina.
No, thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Let me, welcome and note the statement by Honourable Weber and save to indicate, Honourable Speaker, that indeed this is a matter of national competency. We are also taking note of it. But of course, as the provincial government, we're trying by all means to make sure that our tender processes becomes as transparent as possible. But thank you very much.
Honourable Mashiane.
Honourable Speaker, Action SA welcomes the completion of the Mkondo Boarding School, a long overdue investment in the future of learners in the region. For far too long, communities in Mkondo have had to contend with inadequate educational infrastructure and limited access to quality learning environments. The completion of this state-of-the-art institution, therefore, represents an important step towards restoring dignity within our education system and expanding opportunities for young people. Learners in rural and undeserved communities deserve access to safe, modern, and properly resourced educational facilities, just like learners anywhere else in the country. Mkondo deserves institutions of this standard, and as Action SA believes that infrastructure of this nature should not be treated as a luxury, but as a basic investment in the future of our children. Honourable Speaker, while we welcome the completion of the school, serious concerns remain regarding the condition of the surrounding road infrastructure and the lack of adequate signage directing motorists and visitors to the institution. The current state of the road poses accessibility and safety challenges for learners, parents, educators, and service providers accessing the facility. Furthermore, inadequate signage creates unnecessary risks and reflects poor planning around supporting infrastructure. A world-class educational institution cannot be surrounded by failing access infrastructure. Action SA therefore calls on the relevant departments, both of them, and municipal authorities to urgently address the condition of the roads leading to the school and ensure that proper road signage is installed without delay.
Honourable Member, Honourable Masina.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I think on this one, working together with the Department of Public Works, we are taking note on these matters. And of course, like the Honorable Member has indicated, that it's a matter that revolves around the Department of Education, Department of Public Works, as well as the municipality. So we're taking note to see how best we can deal with those matters. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Executive statements. I am informed that there are no executive statements. Motions without notice. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Mbuyane.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to you and the honorable members. I rise on behalf of the African National Congress to raise awareness to the public about adulterated diesel, which has become more popular in the country amid growing concerns of skyrocketing fuel costs and possible shortages. Speaker, dirty diesel occurs when fuel sellers mix diesel with cheaper substances such as paraffin and lubricated oil. Diluted diesel will often lead to increased emission and toxic fumes, which will ultimately damage the fuel pump and injectors. Honorable Speaker, despite government efforts in curb the practice by petrol stations and enforce fuel regulations on sellers, the sale of contaminated diesel is getting worse because of the potential massive profit. Latest data has identified more than 100 suspected illicit fuel depots across the country. The ANC, therefore, wants the public to be vigilant of the depots that sell diesel of cheaper prices than the price regulated by government authority. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to.
Agreed.
As so agreed. Honorable Makhabane.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. I, Ivan Tomzoto Makhabane, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, moves a motion without notice that the House notes that the report of the Portfolio Committee on Finance on the Division of Revenue Bill number 5 of 2026, shall be tabled for consideration by the August House. Further notes that Rule 118, number 2 of the Rules and Orders provides that the
Honorable Makhabane, can you please take your seat? Honorable Masango.
Yeah, sorry, Speaker. We are still on the motion without notice, not a formal one. I think the whip is reading the formal motion.
No, thank you very much. Honorable Masango, Honorable Makhabane, you will table that one on formal motions. Now we are on motions without notice. Honorable Dlamini.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. My greetings to you and honorable members. Honorable Speaker, the African National Congress commends the Hawks in Mpumalanga for arresting a former National Construction Company director and 2 others for alleged UIF fraud scheme and ghost employees. Speaker, a joint investigation conducted by law enforcement agencies revealed that a Malawian-born, his wife, and brother-in-law unduly benefited 27 million from COVID-19 temporary employee relief scheme. The company allegedly claimed benefits for more than 700 ghost employees. Honorable Speaker, the intensive investigation further revealed how funds were channeled to various bank accounts, which were later used as acquire movable and immovable properties. The ANC applauds the collaborative efforts of the various law enforcement agencies in ensuring that criminals are held accountable and seize the proceeds crime through the assets forfeiture unit. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to.
Agreed.
As so agreed. Honorable Makhabane, you can table your motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Speaker, point of order.
Wrong, Speaker. We can
What
help
is
you.
the point of order, Honorable Fenyane?
We'll help you. Tell us what's wrong.
We are still on motions, Speaker.
Motion without notice.
Without notice is not a formal motion. Honorable Makhabane, you can proceed.
I, Ivan Tombizotwa Makhabane, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, move a motion without notice that the House notes that the reports of the Portfolio Committee on Finance on the Division of Revenue Bill number 5 of 2026, shall be tabled for consideration by the August House. Further notes that Rule number 118, subsection number 2 of the Rules and Orders provides that the report of the committee must be circulated to all members at least 24 hours before the debate. I therefore move that the House adopts a resolution in terms of Rule number 4, subsection number 1, to suspend the provision of Rule number 118, number 2, and allow the report of the Portfolio Committee on Finance be tabled for consideration by the August House during today's sitting. Honorable Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker.
The question
Speaker.
before the House is
No,
whether we agree to
Speaker.
adopt the
No. Speaker, we are here. There's a hand.
I'm saying the question before the House
It's a
is
no.
whether we agree to
It's a no, but there's a hand.
Okay.
Speaker, can you please recognize me?
Honorable Masango.
Yeah, Speaker, it's still the same point of order I stood on. I think we have just forgotten that we haven't done this other party, so because we're going to say no, and this is important that we should be passing actually this motion. So I will request that you do the process as normal, and then once you are done, then you can go to the formal motion so that we don't vote this thing down as it is happening now. Thank you.
Honorable members, this is a motion without notice because we are suspending the rules. The report was supposed to be in the ATC within 24 hours. And today the committee had met and want the report to be tabled to this sitting. That is why it's a motion without notice. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to.
Agreed.
So agreed. Honorable Ndimande.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members.
Honorable
I rise
Speaker.
on behalf of Mkhonto
Speaker.
Wesizwe.
Speaker.
Honorable Ndimande, can you please take your seat? Honorable Mkabela.
I'm just worried because you decided to move to Honorable Ndimande and my hand was up before. Instead, you should have noted me and then I will tell you whether I'm covered or not. Instead of you jumping to call another member. My hand was up and I even called you to say, Speaker, can you please recognize me? So you can't ignore me like that.
Honorable Mkabela, I have ruled on the matter.
No, I didn't
That is
say
why
any
I'm
matter.
proceeding.
I didn't
Because
raise
I
any
have
matter.
ruled.
No,
There's
my-
no 2 point of orders in one matter. Go and check your rules.
But you don't know what I wanted to say. My hand was up. You don't know what I wanted to say. So you know now that I wanted to say the same thing that Masango said. My hand was up. And
I
you
have
didn't recognize
ruled on
me.
the matter.
Which
Honorable
matter?
Mkabela, can you please take your seat?
Which matter, Honorable Speaker?
Honorable Mkabela, can you please take your seat? Honorable Ndimande, can you please continue?
Okay, thank you again, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. I rise on behalf of Mkhonto Wesizwe Party to request this House to note with a heavy heart and outrage that a child died outside the hospital gate in Mpumelelweni Clinic in Emalahleni, a facility designated and marked as a 24-hour government clinic. The child's family arrived at the clinic seeking emergency help, only to find out that the gate of the clinic closed and no medical personnel available to assist, despite the clinic 24-hour mandate. This is not an isolated incident. Communities in Emalahleni have repeatedly reported that Mpumelelweni Clinic operates as a 24-hour clinic in the name only, with gates closed, no doctors on night duty, and no emergency response after 16 hours. Honorable Speaker, imagine being a parent and your child is struggling to breathe at 2 a.m. You run to the clinic, you bang on the gate, you scream for help, and no one comes to help. The issue of this child is not an accident. It is a system that decides that the life of a child in Mpumelelweni is worth less than a signature on a duty road. We call Mpumelelweni a 24-hour clinic, but at night, it becomes a building with a lock and no one is inside. The death of the child outside the public health facility is a normal failure of the government and a violation of the most basic Batupili principle of access, courtesy, and accountability. Honorable Speaker, we further note that Emalahleni local municipality and Kangala district are already burdened with high rates of
Your time is up. Can you
infant
please take a
mortality.
seat?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to? No.
Agreed.
Motion defeated. Can I remind honorable members in terms of Rule 83, subsection 4, provides that motions without notice should not be more than 2 minutes. Honorable Skaledi.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Democratic Alliance to move a motion without notice, noting that the Bethel Creel Road R545 has just been recently rehabilitated. In less than a month, the road has begun to degrade again as the state it was before the rehabilitation. The department, we note that it should do the following: that the department must review its maintenance contractor and sanction, where applicable, the contractor, and ensure that the contractor redoes the work with proper oversight from the Department of Public Works' project managers. And thirdly, consider sanctioning the project manager themselves for the project manager responsible themselves for the degradation of their duty. I so move, Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to? No. Motion defeated. Honorable Sidibe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Jackie Masia, the culprit on the murder of the Mkonza family were arrested. You must be informed as a police head, as the MSA police, so it means you are not informed. Your hands must be on deck, Chief. Honorable Speaker, noting that in recent weeks, the bus commuters of Bushbuck Ridge were left stranded without any transport to work due to continuing feud between the road permit holder, GNT, and the contracted bus service, MyPut Transport. And further noting that similar feud is happening between Padco Buses Services, which is also the permit holder of the Tembisile and Dr. J.S. Moroka bus routes, and the taxi association from that area of Tembisile and Dr. J.S., which also resulted to commuters left stranded when 2 bus depots were torched down and a number of buses caught fire. And further noting that the Great North Transport and Padco bus services are not provincial-based bus companies. I rise on behalf of the EFF to move a motion without notice that this House adopt a resolution that the operational permits of these 2 bus companies from Limpopo and Gauteng be seized and terminated with immediate effect by the department, and the permits be awarded to Mpumalanga local-based bus companies if we are serious about building sustainable local economy and empowering our own black people. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
Motion defeated.
Where? By who?
The question before the House is whether
see.
we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agree. No.
Motion defeated.
What's the reason? Why do you support Gauteng people and Limpopo people instead of your own people? And
Notices of
commissioners
motion.
get less stranded. Eh?
Are there notices of
Why
motion?
do you do that? We're going to tell the people that it's
Honorable Mkhwebane.
Going to return the favor from Thursday. We're going to say no to everything because you don't listen to understand. You just say no for the
Honorable
sake of saying no.
Mkhwebane, I did not
Thursday we are
recognize
returning
you.
the favor. Everything that we're going to say in this house is
Honorable
going to be a
Mkhwebane,
no.
I did
Mark
not
those words.
recognize you.
It's okay, but it's a no from Thursday.
Honorable Mkhwebane, I did not recognize you. Honorable Mkhwebane.
Thank you, Speaker. The MK Party rises to highlight the severe and ongoing water crisis in Lekwa, local municipality, particularly Esakile, Mahoson, and Tutugani. For over 18 months now, residents have enjoyed inconsistent and no access to potable water, some not having water for more than 14 days. Despite repeated municipal promises of restoration of water within 48 hours, pumps being repaired are not repaired and reservoirs are not filled. The situation remains dire. As of 19 May 2026, Ward 6 in Sakile has been without water for 11 days. This is a direct violation of Section 27 of the Constitution, which guarantees the right to sufficient water. In line with the MK Party People's mandate to defend the dignity of our people and ensure basic services are delivered without fail, we demand an urgent intervention. While the budget sits unspent, a pensioner in Mahoson pays 100 rands a week for water she could get for free. That is exploitation, and it is happening right under the GNU watch. The 47 million water infrastructure budget must be spent transparently and effectively. The municipal manager must account immediately for the unspent funds and continued suffering of the residents. Water is a basic human right, not a luxury, and it's a broken promise from this government. I so move.
The motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. Honorable Marshall.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Democratic Alliance to give notice of a motion that at the next sitting of the House debate, number one, noting the urgent need for lawful intervention within the framework of the Critical Infrastructure Protection Act of 2019 in response to increasing delays, disruptions, vandalism, unlawful interference and security threats affecting provincial infrastructure projects. Number two, further noting the necessity for the member of the Executive Council responsible for public works and infrastructure to engage with the National Minister of Police through the prescribed statutory processes to motivate for qualifying strategic infrastructure projects to be declared critical infrastructure in terms of Section 16 of the Critical Infrastructure Protection Act. Number three, recognizing that the Act provides mechanisms for the protection and safeguarding of infrastructure essential to public safety, economic stability, service delivery, and the effective functioning of state, including measures aimed at preventing unnecessary delays in the completion of schools, hospitals, roads, water infrastructure, and other strategic public assets. And then debate the constitutional obligations imposed on all spheres of government in terms of Chapter 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, to cooperate effectively in safeguarding public infrastructure and ensuring efficient service delivery to communities. I so move.
The motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. Are there notices of motion? Formal motions? Before formal motions, Honorable Sidibe.
Yeah, thank you. Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, noting that in the recent weeks, the bus commuters of Bushbuck Ridge were left stranded without any transport to work due to the continuing feud between the road permit holder, Great North Transport, and the contracted bus service, Maiput Transport. And further noting that the similar feud is happening between PASCO Bus Services, which is also the permit holder of Tembisi and Dr. J.S. Moroka Bus Roads. And further noting that Great North Transport and PASCO Bus Services are not provincial-based buses. I therefore rise on behalf of the EFF that this House, in its next sitting, debate the need to seize and terminate the road permit for these two bus service providers, GNT and PASCO. I so move.
The motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. Formal motions. There is a formal motion on the order paper in the name of Honorable R.J. Malachi. I have a speaker's list in front of me. I will now call upon the Honorable R.J. Malachi from the EFF, and we are given 8 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the EFF in defense of the workers of Mpumalanga who continue to be abused, exploited and sacrificed by the ANC government that protect tenders more than protects the people. Despite the existence of the EFF Insourcing Bill B19 of 2025, which seeks to end exploitation of workers through outsourcing. Speaker, we cannot overlook the fact that outsourcing has become modern-day exploitation of black labor under the watch of democratic government. Across municipalities and departments, workers are treated like rented machinery, while politically connected tenderpreneurs feast on public money. In Nkomazi local municipality, workers recently protested after the municipality failed to pay overtime, allowances, and benefits because of the so-called financial constraint. Yet the same municipality always finds money for contractors and tenders. The same Nkomazi local municipality continues a new security tender that has now threatened the livelihoods of 247 security guards instead of insourcing those workers as proposed by the EFF. The ANC-led government ignored warnings, ignored proposal, ignored workers because protecting tenders has become more important than protecting our people. Speaker, a government that ignores workers but never ignored tenders has lost moral authority to govern. In governing Begi municipality and other municipalities within Khertsibamde district, outsourced security workers continue suffering delayed salaries, intimidation and exploitation, while contractors continue to receiving public money. In the same pattern is repeated in Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison, where outsourced security guards were forced to strike after being left unpaid for months by the service provider, who continue benefiting from government contract. Speaker, these are workers guarding government property day and night, yet they are forced to go home hungry. They are forced to go home hungry. Children, because salary have disappeared into the corrupt and incompetency. In Emalahleni community, continue suffering electricity instability, infrastructure collapse, and service delivery failure, while millions are swallowed through outsourcing contract. In governing Begi, Lekwa municipality, residents continue suffering water interruption, government collapsed, and instability, while outsourcing remain untouched because tenders have become the heartbeat of the ANC government. Cleaners in the provincial government continue performing permanent work without permanent employment. The workers clean our hospital, they clean offices, clinics, and every government building while also maintaining dignity, yet government treat them as disposable labor. The Department of Public Works continue outsource maintenance service while roads collapse, building decay, public infrastructure fall apart in front of our people. Honorable Speaker, we cannot deny the fact that outsourcing has failed completely. It has failed workers, it has failed communities, it has failed service delivery. What outsourcing has succeeded in doing is enriching politically connected contractors while workers left in the insecurity and poor working conditions. Speaker, every collapsed municipality, every unpaid worker, every failed service delivery protest carries the fingerprint of the outsourcing system designed to benefit connected few of all expenses of black working class. The pain experienced by workers across Mpumalanga, not accidentally. It is direct consequence of government that has commercialized public service and abandoned its constitutional duty to protect workers and communities. The EFF has consistently rejected in outsourcing because we refuse to normalize exploitation under the black government. We therefore reaffirm that no society can claim to value human dignity while workers remain trapped in secure outsourcing labor with no protection, no stability, no future. Workers are not contract, workers are not tenders, workers are human beings. This is a year of victory or death. Victory of workers, victory against outsourcing, victory against exploitation, victory against the ANC corrupts, victory for economic emancipation. The struggle continues until every worker has dignity and security and freedom from exploitation. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I will now call upon the Honorable Tipi Nkosi from the ANC, and you're given 6 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Premier of the Province, the members of the Executive, and all honorable members in this August House. Honorable Speaker, today we engage in this important subject which requires our objectivity and open mind. The ANC has for quite a long time committed itself in building a capable state and is cognizant of the fact that building a capable state is not an event but a process. Part of the process of building a capable state includes strengthening internal capacity of the state by insourcing services that were previously outsourced. It is against that background that insourcing of services has been part of the ANC manifesto commitments in the 2016 local government elections. Insourcing has also been part of the ANC manifesto commitments in the 2024 national and provincial government elections manifesto. For many years, outsourcing was introduced with the main purpose of improving efficiency and reduce costs. However, experience has shown us that excessive outsourcing has often weakened state capacity, reduced accountability, and deprived many workers of stable employment and decent working conditions. The ANC government has put in place mechanisms to ensure insourcing by introducing the occupation-specific dispensation, OSD, as a remuneration strategy to attract and retain skills professionals such as doctors, engineers, etc., by offering unique salary structures, career pathing, and pay progression based on performance experience. Conversely to the OSD strategy in the public sector is the private sector, which mostly after competitive remuneration, it should be taken into cognizance that the public sector is not a profit-generating institution and rely on both the national and the provincial revenue in delivering the services and acceding to constitutional obligations. Honorable Speaker, as the African National Congress, we believe that the government must build internal capacity that empowers the state to deliver quality services directly to the people and even in the municipalities. To illustrate my point, Honorable Speaker, in 2017, the Gersibande District Municipality took a resolution to insource security services. This was a decisive action taken by that district municipality. It was not just a decision, but it was the implementation of the ANC manifesto. From a medical point of view, Honorable Speaker, our strategy to send students to Cuba is based on our conviction that Cuban community healthcare model is built on the principle that protect universal care and strengthen community resilience. Hence, we have witnessed that Honorable Manzini permanently placing doctors in our clinic, as many doctors are in the private sector. The ANC, Honorable Speaker, has been doing what we are debating today in this motion. Honorable Speaker, outsourcing, as I have already said, must be used where there's a genuine shortage of specialized skills. Public fund must benefit communities through job creation, skills development, and sustainable development. Our communities expect reliable water supply, sanitation, roads, electricity, waste removal, and housing services. These responsibilities cannot be outsourced indefinitely while municipalities lose institutional knowledge and operational control. It is and has been a firm belief of the ANC that a capable state must deliver services efficiently, protect workers through labor laws, promote transformation, and restore public confidence in government institutions. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, this motion that is being debated today is based on the trajectory that the ANC has taken to insource services and to build internal capacity in all spheres of government. It is therefore my view and the view of the ANC that will not support this motion because it proposes something that the ANC is busy doing. A capable state is built by empowering its people. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I will now
So
call
meaning
upon
President.
the Honorable J.E.
No,
Lungile
Silungu.
from the MKP, and you are given 10 minutes.
We are saying the president is lying when he says we must insource.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to appreciate Honorable Malachi for submitting this important debate to the House. We stand here today, Honorable Speaker, because the way our government builds, repairs, and maintain our public infrastructure is broken, and it is breaking our people. In 2025 alone, 43,000 residents of Mpumalanga lost their jobs in the first 3 months of the year. Youth unemployment in our province now stands at an unbearable 46.4%. The expanded unemployment rate, which counts those who have given up hope entirely has climbed to 48.4%. Almost 1 in 2 people of the working age in Mpumalanga is either jobless or has stopped looking for work. At the same time, billions of rands flow out of the province through outsourcing, labor brokering, and tenders that enriches middlemen while leaving workers unpaid and projects unfinished. The motion before us today is simple but urgent. The need for this shift towards insourcing across all spheres of government to prevent further job losses and to end the systematic exploitation of workers. Let us begin with the most basic truth. When the state outsources essential work to third-party contractors, it does not save money. It pays more and the worker gets less. A security guard contracted through a labor broker may earn as little as 3,500 rands per month, while the state pays the broker up to 14,000 per month for the same service. The difference disappears into the pocket of the middleman, not into the wages, not into the skills development, not into the economy of the province. Labor brokers trap workers in insecure, low-wage, short-term contracts that offers no benefits, no training, and no prospects of career advancement. Workers are dismissed without notice, denied leave, denied pension, and denied the dignity of permanent employment. They are more disposable because the system treats them as disposable. And what does the province get in return? Unfinished projects. That is what we get. Mpumalanga's Departments of Public Works, Roads and Transport spent 5.59 billion, 96.4% of its budget in the 2024-25 financial year, yet missed nearly a quarter of its performance targets. The departments achieved only 33 of its 42 planned outputs. Money flows, but taps remain dry and roads remain broken. Let me name few failures because the people of Mpumalanga deserve to know where their taxes have gone. The Welisizo Road Rural Bridge Program, the Welisizo Rural Bridge Program, of 17 planned bridges, only one has been completed. The rural community remains cut out from school, clinics, and markets. Children wade through rivers to reach classrooms because we have outsourced their safety. The Castile-Zugnoch Road, still incomplete. The Belfast Justicia Road, still incomplete. Lupisi Road rehabilitation, still incomplete. The R577 Nemashishin, still incomplete, with some projects below 50% completion. This is the price of outsourcing, spending billions, little delivered, workers exploited, and people of Mpumalanga left waiting. Now let us turn to the solution. The MK Party calls for a permanent direct employment of workers across 4 critical sectors: road construction, maintenance, stormwater, drainage, electricity installation and maintenance, and government building projects. Why? Because insourcing works, it has worked before and it can work here. First, insourcing ensures workers receive their full share of economy. A permanently employed municipal worker earns a full salary, receives pension, contribution, qualifies for medical aid, and enjoys protection of labor laws. No middleman takes a cut. No labor broker delays the payment. No contractor disappears with the wage bill. When the state insources, the full value of public spending stays in the pocket of our people and circulates in the economy of the province. Second, insourcing builds skills and retains them. When every road maintenance project is outsourced to a different contractor, no institutional knowledge is retained. Experience walk out the door when the contract ends. But when government employs artisans, engineers, electricians, and road workers permanently, those workers build skills over the decades. They train young people. They become the institutional backbone of the capable state. Third, insourcing stops projects from being abandoned midstream. Contractors walk away from projects after being paid because the state has no direct power over their workforce. But a permanent employed municipal worker is accountable not to a tender, but to the people. When a project runs behind, the workers are there to fix it. When a road deteriorates, the same team that builds it is there to maintain it. Fourth, insourcing ends the exploitation of workers. We have seen what happens when security guards go unpaid over Christmas because their labor broker did not pay them. We have seen what happens when cleaners have no contracts, no protection, and no voice. Permanent employment restores dignity, and dignity is what MK fights for. And fifth, insourcing creates stable, predictable wage bill that can be planned and budgeted for. Outsourcing hides the true cost of labor behind inflated tender prices and hidden middleman fees. Insourcing brings those costs into open and ensures that every rand spent on labor goes to the work, not to the broker. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, we cannot continue on this path. Every unfinished project is a broken promise. Every exploited worker is a stain on the conscience of this government. MK calls for an immediate insourcing of all essential and regular required service across all spheres of government, including road construction, road maintenance, stormwater drainages, electricity installation and maintenance, and government buildings. We are calling for the phasing out of labor brokers and third-party contractors in all core public infrastructure work. We are calling for a permanent employment of all workers currently engaged on casual, temporary, or outsourced basis in these sectors with full wages, benefits, and labor law protections. The establishment of a provincial task team, we call for the establishment of a provincial task team to audit all income infrastructure projects in Mpumalanga, recover the wasted funds where possible, and deploy permanent employed public workers to complete them. We say no to, we the people of Mpumalanga, we are saying that we might we might lose money, but not lose the dignity of our people. Insourcing is not a charity. It is not a gesture. It is a good governance. It is a value for money. It is justice for workers. And it's only path to provide, it is the only path to a province where roads are built, bridges stand, and every worker receives their full share of the economy. Let us build with our people, but not on their backs. I support the motion. Thank you, Speaker.
I will now call upon the Honorable T.A. Skaledi from the Democratic Alliance, 4 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, this motion before us recognizes a painful truth. Too often, outsourcing in government has meant exploitation of workers, waste of public money, and a hollowing out of the state. As the Democratic Alliance, we share the desire to end that exploitation and to build a truly capable state. We therefore support a shift towards insourcing, where it strengthens municipal capacity, improves service delivery, and protects both workers and taxpayers. Our stance is clear. Insourcing is not a slogan. It is a tool, and if used wisely, it helps us rebuild the internal muscle of the state. If used recklessly, it can cripple our finances and collapse service delivery. With that being said, rather than a blanket approach to insourcing, we argue for strategic targeted insourcing of core capabilities while maintaining space for partnerships and specialized services where they are generally more efficient. Honorable Speaker, nowhere is it more important than in municipal maintenance and departmental maintenance. When the basics of maintenance are outsourced, we outsource the very heart of service delivery. Potholes, leaking pipes, broken streetlights, and decaying buildings cannot wait for tenders and invoices. They require a standing in-source team of qualified artisans, engineers, technologists who know the town, know the assets, and can quickly respond. Maintenance in municipalities should not be outsourced. It should be driven by capable professionals within the institution, held to clear performance standards, and accountable directly to council and communities. In line with the DA policy position on insourcing, we support bringing critical functions in-house where they are central to a municipality's ability to govern and deliver. This includes, for example, core security functions to protect key infrastructure, cleaning the ground staff for essential municipal facilities, internal IT capacity to manage and secure critical systems, and frontline administration and customer service posts that are the face of local government and residents. When these roles are insourced properly on merit, with skills and fair conditions, that they build institutional memory, reduce tender abuse, and give managers direct levers to improve service quality. At the same time, our policy brief is eloquently clear about what insourcing cannot be. We cannot and should not turn every municipality into a bus operator, a construction conglomerate, or a full-service IT company all at once. If we try to insource every listed sector, from complex transport operations and large-scale construction to all specialized healthcare and advanced IT development, we would explode the wage bill, overburden already weak administrations, and divert money from infrastructure into salaries we cannot sustain. That is why the DA supports a balanced model, insource the strategic brain and backbone of planners, engineers, project managers, contract managers, security for key sites, artisans, core IT and frontline staff, and then use carefully managed outsourcing and public-private partnerships for large, highly specialized and capital-intensive work. In this model, the state leads, sets standards, enforces contracts. The private sector complements and not replaces internal capacity. I so move.
I now call upon the Honorable W.L. Weber, Freedom Front Plus, 4 minutes. You can debate where you are.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I never expected this. I touch on tenders, bloated tenders, and the dangers and the damage it's doing. And all of a sudden, the EFF is supporting me. If that is the case, I must be wrong. I must be wrong. I'm speechless, Madam Speaker. Then I hear the ANC also supports us. Maya babo. Sekwenzakan lapha. Ngiyamangala. Now I hear other parties also expressing virtually every sentiment that I've raised. But let us turn back to what is at issue. Madam Speaker, we must insource in a certain way. I agree with that. That's the normal thing to do. But there is still room for tenders. But tenders can't be awarded by a single person, no matter to which party that person belongs. It must be a smaller component of a group that consists of more than one party so that they can watch one another. Then the tenders will be awarded rightfully because there is room for tenders. And therefore, Madam Speaker, what I have expressed more than one time is coming to fruition now because virtually the whole House is supporting me and agreeing with me. You are at liberty to hand over the whole government to the Freedom Front Plus. Just imagine how we would live. Hlala kamnandi kakhulu ake nisinikeze ukuthi sikwenze nje inyanga eyodwa nizawumangala.
I will now call upon the Honorable KP Moketsi from the ANC, 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, Honorable members of the legislature, distinguished guests, good afternoon. I rise on behalf of the African National Congress to address this motion on insourcing with the seriousness it deserves. Because at its core, it speaks to two fundamental imperatives of our democracy: the dignity of our workers and the capability of the state to deliver services to our people. Honorable Speaker, the African National Congress has never been neutral on the question of labor exploitation. We come from a history where the majority of workers were deliberately relegated to the margins of the economy, denied rights, denied fair wages, and denied recognition. It is precisely to reverse that legacy that this democratic state introduced instruments such as the Labor Relations Act, the National Minimum Wage, employment equity legislation, and the strengthening of social protection through UIF reforms. These are not symbolic gestures. They are the architecture of a transformed labor market. Honorable Speaker, the transformation is not achieved through structural simplification. It is achieved through sustained, disciplined governance that ensures that every policy instrument works together in harmony. Let us speak directly to broad-based Black economic empowerment, BBBEE, as a policy of ownership redistribution. It is a strategic tool to widen participation in the economy, to open procurement opportunities, and to ensure that Black-owned and Black-managed enterprises are not spectators, but participate in economic activities. Through BBBEE, government procurement has become a lever for industrial development, enterprise growth, and economic inclusion. Honorable Speaker, if we adopt a blanket insourcing model across all spheres of government, we must ask a difficult question. What happens to the ecosystem of emerging contractors, SMMEs, and township-based enterprises that rely on public sector procurement as a pathway into economy? We risk unintentionally narrowing the very space that BBBEE was designed to expand. We risk centralizing opportunity in the state at the expense of broader economic participation. The ANC, therefore, cannot support an approach that undermines the very instrument we have designed to democratize the economy. Honorable Speaker, we must also be clear that outsourcing has, in many cases, been abused. It has produced inequality, wage suppression, and exploitation where oversight has failed. That is unacceptable. But the answer is not to abandon the procurement ecosystem entirely. It is to strengthen enforcement of labor laws within it, tighten compliance mechanisms to prevent fronting and rent seeking, and ensure that contracts serve development rather than private accumulation. Honorable Speaker, we must also recognize that a capable, ethical, and developmental state is not measured by how many workers it directly employs, but how effective it delivers services while advancing transformation. The National Development Plan calls for exactly this balance: a developmental state that is efficient, professional, and inclusive, where the state has the capacity and where insourcing demonstrably improves accountability, we support. But where outsourcing, properly regulated, supports innovation and entrepreneurship, we must be careful not to dismantle in pursuit of a one-size-fits-all. Honorable Speaker, the ANC remains committed to workers, to transformation, and to the expansion of economic participation for Blacks in general and African in particular. But we must pursue these goals in a way that strengthens both the economy and the state in line with the objectives of the national democratic revolution. For these reasons, Honorable Speaker, we do not support the motion in its current form. I thank you.
I will now call upon
Banilalele ukuthi tender ni phambili ngayo.
Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Honorable Ngwenya, I did
Mara
not
inkinga yenu
recognize
nijabuliswa
you.
into lengekho. Mara nithini nanihleli ngalapho nobadzala so.
Honorable
Nithi ma
Kabela.
security bangawa insource.
Honorable
Mara
members.
nina shem. Kanzi nibuya kuphi banithola kuphi?
Honorable
nina mara?
members, can we please adhere to the rules of the House? And I indicated that I have a speakers list. If I did not recognize you, you must not speak. I will now call upon the Honorable FT Mashiane, Action SA, 4 minutes.
Sengla, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Action SA rises in cautious support of this motion, particularly where it seeks to address the exploitation of workers, job insecurity, and the abuse of outsourcing practices across various spheres of government. At the center of this debate, it must be the dignity of workers and the constitutional obligation of the state to uphold fair labor practices, accountability, and efficient public administration. Far too often, outsourcing within government has not been used as a tool to improve efficiency or service delivery, but rather as a mechanism that has enabled exploitation, weakened accountability, and created opportunities for corruption and politically connected tender systems. Across municipalities and departments, we have seen workers performing essential government functions under outsourced arrangements while earning significantly less, working under insecure conditions and without adequate benefits or labor protections. In many cases, these workers remain vulnerable despite carrying out duties that are permanent and critical to the functioning of the state. Action SA therefore agrees that government cannot continue outsourcing essential services in a manner that undermines worker dignity. Honorable Speaker, However, Action SA also believe that this matter requires a balanced and responsible approach. Insourcing cannot become a blanket political slogan without proper consideration of financial sustainability, institutional capacity, service delivery outcomes, and governance realities. The failure of government institutions in many parts of the country is not only linked to outsourcing, but also to poor management, corruption, cadre deployment, weak consequence management, and collapsing administrative capacity. Simply transferring workers into government employment without addressing these deeper governance failures will not automatically improve service delivery. Action SA position remains that the state must build a capable, professional and ethical public administration that delivers services efficiently while protecting the rights and dignity of workers. Where outsourcing results in exploitation, poor labor standards, inflated tenders, corruption and declining service delivery, government must seriously consider insourcing as a corrective intervention. Honourable Speaker, South Africa's constitution is clear in recognizing the right to fair labor practices and the importance of public administration. This debate must therefore also focus on enforcing labor protection, ensuring fair wages, improving hours of contracts, eliminating corruption in procurement system. Action SA believes these objectives can and must coexist. We therefore support the call for a serious review of outsourcing practices. That is why we support this motion. Thank you, Speaker.
Abantu abasoba.
Honorable members, can we please conduct ourselves according to the rules? And it's not correct that you indicate that honorable members are not sober. We believe that all members, when they enter here, their minds are sober. Honorable Marshall, from the Democratic Alliance, 4 minutes.
Honourable Speaker, the Democratic Alliance approaches this debate from a position of principle, practicality and good governance. Let us state clearly from the outset, the DA is not opposed to insourcing. Where insourcing delivers better services, protect workers and save money, it should absolutely be considered. But we reject the ideology approached advanced by the EFF because governing a country requires evidence, not slogans. The real issue before us is not outsourcing versus insourcing. The real issue is whether government is delivering quality services efficiently, affordably and honestly. South Africans are tired of ideological experiments while municipalities collapse, roads deteriorate and basic services fail. Honourable Speaker, yes, there have been serious failures in outsourced contracts. We have seen inflated tenders, corruption and abuse of workers. But let us also be honest, corruption in South Africa did not begin with outsourcing. State capture happened inside state institutions. Eskom was insourced. Transnet was insourced. Many failing municipalities are fully insourced. The problem is simply who delivers the service. The problem is corruption, cadre deployment, and weak accountability. The DA believes in a capable state with proper oversight, transparent procurement, and professional public administration as required by Section 195 and 217 of the Constitution of South Africa. Where outsourcing offers better expertise, efficiency, and value for money, government must use it responsibly and transparently. Where insourcing produces better outcomes, government must pursue it. But blanket insourcing across all spheres of government without considering cost, capacity, or sustainability is totally reckless. Honourable Speaker, Mpumalanga does not have unlimited resources. Many municipalities are already financially distressed. Expanding the public payroll without fixing governance failures first will not resolve unemployment or improve service delivery. In many cases, partnerships with the public sector are essential to fill skills shortages and infrastructure gaps. The DA will never apologize for supporting practical solutions that help government work better for residents. Our focus remains simple: clean government, value for money, worker dignity, and reliable service delivery. The DA will always support policies that genuinely improves the lives of South Africans, not policies driven by ideology alone. I thank you.
I will now call upon the Honorable S.K. Mashilo from the ANC, and you are given 6 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, and indeed honorable members. This motion is rather frivolous but not vexatious, of course. In 2009, the fourth administration, its president was Honorable Comrade Jacob Zuma. That's the time the in-outsourcing was quite rife. So we can't come and debate in that way. But nonetheless, let's go to the actual issues.
See, Jacob Zuma was an ANC president.
Of course he was.
Remind you.
Order, honorable members.
The president of the ANC.
Honorable Mashilo, can you please take
The president of the ANC.
President Skulmala.
He was the president of the ANC.
Sit down.
Honorable
He was the
Mashilo,
president of the ANC.
Honorable members, in terms of our rules, Rule 37, subsection 1, a member may not interrupt another member while speaking, except to put a question to such member or call attention to a point of order, a question of privilege, or the presence of non-members on the floor of the House. I request that we abide by the rules, not to disrupt or interrupt the honorable member while debating. You can proceed, Honorable Mashilo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. In a recent study by Sanet Africa Journal Evaluation of Government, outsourcing from a service provider's perspective, the philosophy of a new public management adopted by public sector organizations intensified the practice of outsourcing government functions and services to private sector partners. Outsourcing in this regard is limited to appointment or contracting that government engages in with private sector for the latter of execute a responsibility on behalf of government. While the ANC resolved to support or to source, we believe this matter must be done very carefully without being reckless, because the responsibility of government is to provide services to the community. When we agree that members must have pension, etc., at the same time, the community must get the better services. And from where we sit, the ANC is in the process of doing away with the outsourcing, but at the same time, making sure that is done very professionally and very responsibly. For an example, when you deliver the issue of the title deed, you need conveyancers. In government, we do not have conveyancers. And for that matter, you require expertise that is indeed not in government but outside. And we should do the outsourcing as well. Well, the issue of insourcing is a good idea in our approach, but at the same time, we must look the risk both sides. The risk of outsourcing and the risk of insourcing. What is best for the community that we lead? As a responsible government, we have made this balanced, and we agreed that municipal managers and managers below the municipal managers, they will be now becomes permanent as a process moving towards insourcing. That is the approach the ANC government is taking in a manner that is very systematic and very consistent with service delivery. The ideas that suggest that we must outsource others and insource others, we believe is a fair balance, but we must not do it recklessly, so that at the end of the day, the whole services collapse. From where we sit as the ANC, we are indeed practical and we've gotten experienced of what we are talking. Those who are still looking for being inexperienced, they are rather outdated and they'll waste another time. Whereas we have gained knowledge and we know what we are talking about. From where we sit as the ANC, we believe very strong that our approach, Honorable Premier and Honorable Speaker, is appropriately correct. The exploitation of workers is not necessarily a problem of outsourcing, but rather the failure of contracted service providers to observe existing labor laws in respect of employees and apparent lack of enforcement. This country has a number of laws that we've put aside, whether from government or from private. It has to be respected by all of these people. Does not mean that if people are at government, they cannot be exploited, provided that the managers are not following the proper government policies and the laws of the country. Poor project management and flawed supply chain management process often contribute to inflated cost or cost services by contractors with a high risk of corruption, thus affecting the public purse as such. That's why today is the government of the ANC, through the president, have introduced a number of commissions, including Madlanga Commission, to deal with this problem very decisively, irrespective who is there, because we are a government of the people. For that matter, we believe this motion, ANC cannot support it today. Thank you very much.
I will now call upon the Honorable MC Sidibe, EFF, 6 minutes.
Well, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I agree with Honorable Moketsi that the ANC is neutral on the matter of insourcing. That is true, and that is true because the ANC has a position on insourcing, and its position has been made clear by the three speakers here, that no to insourcing. Speaker after speaker have made it vividly clear in front of all of us that they are not supporting insourcing. They are against insourcing. That's why today, all of them, 25, they are here. They are here to defend the motion because they lost a motion on free infrastructure last week.
Honorable Speaker.
Who's that?
Honorable Sidibe, can you please take your seat? Honorable Moketsi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would love to correct my chairperson of the Portfolio Committee that on the debate that I have just delivered, I never said the ANC is neutral. I said it has never been neutral.
You are wasting our time. Sit down. Down.
Honorable Sidibe, in terms of our rules, Rule 38, a member may not deliberately mislead the House. Can you please withdraw?
I can't withdraw, it's there. I'm writing notes. I'm listening when you can go to hindsight. She said that the ANC is neutral. Every speaker, when I speak, I write. It's on my notes.
I'm deferring the ruling. I will rule in the next sitting.
Thank you very much.
You can proceed.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable Speaker, people like Honorable Moketsi are very dangerous to the society. They are poisonous, venomous like snakes. Honorable Speaker, sitting in the gallery here are the parents who are representing the 247 guards who were retrenched in Koma's local municipality. They are fathers and mothers. They don't know what their children is going to eat. They don't know what their children is going to wear this winter. And what is more painful is that it is alleged that their retrenchment is because they've replaced them by CCTV cameras. And the three companies appointed are aligned to political leadership. The mayor, Pindile Makakule, the chairperson of Ehlanzeni, Jackie Masia, and the secretary of Ehlanzeni, Fulis Boy. So three of them brought three companies to replace these 247 people. It is alleged. And we are going to launch an investigation and with the police.
Sidibe, can you please withdraw Cheki Masia? You must call honorable member.
I said honorable member.
You
Masia.
said Cheki Masia.
Okay, thank you. I withdraw honorable Masia. I respect every honorable
Don't be
member
angry,
that is here.
Speaker, man. Relax.
So, honorable Speaker, our fellow brothers, the EFF will never desert you. It was formed by security guards, petrol attendants, waiters and waitresses. We will not do to you what the ANC is doing to you. Even Nelson Mandela, I open court, the former president and the first state president of South Africa, said, addressing COSATU Congress in 1985, that if the ANC do to you what the apartheid government did to you, you must do to the ANC what you did to the apartheid government. Simple meaning, remove them. So you cannot rely on them because it is them who are causing poverty in your families. It is them that they are taking your employment through CCTV cameras and their own companies. That's why as the EFF we say insourcing is key because we want to kill the corruption that is happening there. What kind of leadership and government that promises people job, but at night at the back door, they take their job? Because Honorable Masia and Folas, their government, Pindile Makakula is government, it's ANC leadership. So it's ANC that is taking the security job, your jobs. The 247 jobs has been taken by ANC. It's obvious, the writing is on the wall, nobody else. So you must do that Mandela advised us to do to the ANC. Come local government election, you must pray. Honorable Masia and all the other members, your mayors and municipal managers, that EFF does not win outrightly. And you must pray that in each and every municipality, you obtain 50%. You are able to constitute on your own. Because if you can't get anything 50%, we are coming for you. We'll lobby MK, we'll lobby TA, we'll lobby any other Mickey Mouse that is coming to remove you. Because we are tired of corruption by our own leadership that we have entrusted with power as mayors and municipal managers to be the one who rob our people. So, Premier, I'm happy you are here to defend the insourcing today. I will lobby you because I know that you want to behave like John Magufuli, the late president of Tanzania, and visit site and see on your own. But the mistake that you are doing is that you don't go there with the suit, you go with the ANC regalia, which is wrong. But Magafuli's purpose was good because it was physical, hands-on on the project, which I appreciate. If you do that, just remove the regalia. I want to lobby you as I conclude, Speaker, that let's benchmark with 1 or 2 municipalities on insourcing, starting with commerce, and let's retain all those workers and remove those CCTV cameras because the assets of commerce, as we speak, they are not guarded. The tanks, the reservoirs, there's nobody there. You can go physical as John Magufuli and go and see on yourself. There's no security there. And the state assets are in danger. I thank you, Speaker.
Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to.
No.
The Premier uThakaniqashe.
Those who say yes in favor of the motion must raise their hands.
Sibaningi. Ngale kuGalara.
But you supported the motion. You supported.
Thank you.
You said we are going to lobby you.
Those who say no.
Bathaniqasheki ngeSiswati laba. Na Premier wenu uThakaniqashe. Nangu phakamise
Baboneni security guards. ANC yonke lengale. Ngiyelethi no.
letandla tithi
Waboneni
ningaqasheki.
ANC
Don't be
ngiyole
confused.
no.
Qasheki.
Honorable members,
Promise people jobs.
according to the votes, those who say no is 25. Those who say
Ukuphikisa ukuthi abantu bathole emsebenzi.
yes, 16. And the motion is defeated.
Ningakhohlwa 4 November ngibo lapha.
Orders of the day. The secretary shall read the first order of the day.
Order number 1, consideration of a report of the Portfolio Committee on Finance on the Division of Revenue B5 of 2026.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Finance, Honorable Elsie Dlamini, to table the report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, the Speaker, and all honorable members in the House. Honorable Speaker, the committee is satisfied with all the processes that we followed as a committee to process the bill, and we are sure that we have followed all the legal requirements. We therefore table the bill before the House for consideration. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honorable Dlamini. Agreed to?
Agreed.
As so agreed. The Secretary shall read the second order of the day.
Order number 2, conferral of a mandate.
I now call upon the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Honorable E.N. Makabane, to table the mandate.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. In terms of Section 65 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, provincial legislatures are required to confer authority on their delegates in the National Council of Provinces to cast votes on their behalf. I, Ivan Tombizotwa Makabane, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party in the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, move in accordance with Section 65 of the Constitution, read with Rule number 201, subsection number 4 of our rules and orders, that the House confers on the permanent delegates representing the province of Mpumalanga in the NCOP the final mandate to vote in favor of the Division of Revenue Bill.
Honorable Makabane, can you please take your seat, Honorable Mkabela?
Honorable Speaker, sicabanga ukuthi ubuyele emuva sicale kabusha ngoba kuvote ne-SACP and ayisahambi ne-ANC.
The point is not taken. You can proceed, Honorable Makabane.
I, Ivan Tombizotwa Makabane, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party in the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, move in accordance with Section 65 of the Constitution, read with Rule 201, subsection number 4 of our rules and orders, that the House confers on the permanent delegates representing the province of Mpumalanga in the NCOP the final mandate to vote in favor of the Division of Revenue Bill, that is Bill number 5 of 2026, pursuant to the recommendations of the Portfolio Committee on Finance. Honorable Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on this mandate. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the mandate as tabled by Honorable Makabane. Agreed to?
Agreed. Agreed.
As so agreed. It's like some of you are quiet, or do you want to vote again?
Or they can vote again, they are majority.
We are abstaining.
Okay.
They are majority, why are you concerned?
The mandate is agreed to.
They must vote.
The Secretary shall read the third order of the day.
Order number 3, consideration of a report of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport on public hearing and oversight visit conducted on the 23rd to the 26th of March 2026 at Chief Albert Lutuli Local Municipality.
I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Honorable S.M. Malepeng, to table the report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise as the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Public Works, Roads and Transport to table the report as read by the Secretary for consideration by the House. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honorable Malepeng. Agreed to?
Agreed.
That concludes the business for the day. You are all requested to remain standing in your places until the procession has left the chamber. The House is adjourned until Thursday, the 21st of May, 2026, 2:15 in this very same chamber.